everybody. Today is June 16th, and we are going to be changing up the format a little bit from virus updates to weekly updates. And a lot going on in Vegas right now that has made this happen.
Well, the idea is that, every once in a while, for a couple of months during the shutdown, we would come on, or I'd come on by myself, and we talk about what wasn't happening. And now it is happening. Everything's happening. Vegas is booming. We're going to switch it around. We're going to do updates that we're going to try to stay to a schedule, a little bit of consistency. Maybe every week we'll try to stick to it, but we'll tell you what's going on in Vegas for those of you who want to come back.
Well, first things first, everybody has their masks off, and it seems like we're back to 100% capacity at most of these places.
Yeah, absolutely. Capacity is at 100%. There's no more plexiglass almost anywhere. The interesting thing is nobody's asking about masks. And the whole idea is if you're vaccinated, you're allowed to walk around without. But I've never been asked. Nobody's ever asked. And I'm talking about everywhere. We're talking about every casino. We're talking about every bar. We're talking about supermarkets, right?
Well, it started with the casinos, and then now I just tested it. I would walk into gas stations. I would walk into little mom and pop restaurants without a mask on, and it just seems like no one is saying, hey, where's your mask, or even, are you vaccinated?
I was at the courthouse a couple of days ago. I had to go downtown to the courthouse, and if there's any place where you think they're going to be stringent, it's going to be something like that. And I asked the police officer, I said, do I need a mask? I had it in my pocket. He goes, nope, don't need it.
Yeah.
And so, people who are worried about that, who didn't like that, well, people who are worried about that, they've got to know what's happening. But people who didn't like wearing the masks, well, it's, masks are off right now. All right, so first big story is the heat.
Yeah.
Right? We had, yesterday we hit 114 degrees. Today it's supposed to go to 116. The all-time record in Las Vegas is 117. Oof. It's happened 4 times since 1937 when they started taking the records. 3 times since I've been in town. So I've seen the 117-degree heat here, and it's fierce.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Some things you got to think about, especially if you're driving around. You just don't want to leave anything in your car. Yesterday, I had in my briefcase, I had some gel tabs, ibuprofen or something, whatever. Yeah. And I opened it up this morning, and they were one big glob stuck together. They just melted into one another.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've had sunglasses. If they're cheapo sunglasses, they'll either melt or get hard and break.
Yeah.
You were talking about your phone, right?
Oh, yeah. Phone, electronics, your computer, my guitar. I had to take that out of my trunk. So you got to remember, anything that's in your car, it's going to melt.
Yeah. So this is only June. We're coming. The hottest months are July and August. But as an outgrowth of this, the pool parties have been just going crazy, right? You've been watching them.
Yeah, I've been watching the pool parties on Instagram, and it looks like Dre's is just so much fun, and I can't wait to get my butt to the Virgin pools. So that looks like a lot of fun too right now.
Good. Next.
Yeah. This brings us right into weed lounges. So this is something, 4 years ago, we got legalized in Las Vegas, and now, you kind of smell it in the corridors. I don't really see anybody getting written up for tickets. I see people kind of smoking out in the open, although I know it's frowned upon, but now it seems like there's going to be some weed lounges opening up, giving the stoners a place to smoke.
Right, and this is significant because you're right. It was 4 years ago that recreational cannabis was legalized, but what was not legalized is consumption. So people would literally go to the dispensaries, they would buy their stuff, whether they were smoking or eating or whatever, and they couldn't do it legally. And as you say, you could smell it everywhere. It was happening. Nobody was really on it. But this is significant because it's going to be completely legal. There's going to be 20 licenses are going to be given out. It's supposed to become go into effect October 1st. So you'll literally be able to go to a dispensary, buy it, go next door into a lounge or wherever one is around the city and smoke it. Okay, so the big news is that Wynn is opening, and they're going to be the 5th one, along with Southpoint, Cosmo, Caesars, MGM, and Circus Circus. This one's going to be, it starts July 1st. It's going to run Thursday through Sunday only, so it's not full-time. Like most of them are running through the weekends in this fashion. They're going to have breakfast, brunch, and dinner. So a lot of places are doing just like perhaps brunch only or dinner only. They're going to have breakfast, brunch, and dinner. It's going to be expensive. It's going to top out at $64.99 for dinner. And that is, interestingly, that's the price of the Bacchanal buffet as well, $64.99. So they're going to be going head-to-head there on price.
I'm getting excited thinking about it because I know that we're going to be making some videos coming up where we're going to go to the Wicked Spoon. We're going to go to all these places. So I was kind of just, when you were talking, I was kind of fantasizing about all the good food.
Well, you notice it's the high-end ones that are coming back. You've got Bacchanal, you've got Wicked Spoon at Cosmo, and now you've got the big one at the Wynn. So, still though, the best deal of all, I've got to say, is the Southpoint.
Right.
Where with a club card you can get breakfast for $9.99.
Yeah.
It comes with unlimited Bloody Marys.
Yes.
And, we have a top 10 at LasVegasAdvisor.com, and it's number 2 in our top 10 because relative to the price of the other buffets, this is just a flat-out deal, one of the best in town.
Yeah, it really is. If you like buffets, the Southpoint is where it's at. And also, if you like gambling, I always say that the Southpoint has some really good games and some of the latest games to play.
Southpoint is a really good old-fashioned casino.
Yeah.
It's run by Michael Gaughan, who comes from the Gaughan family. They know how to treat customers right. They're all about food. They're all about good parking. They're all about a good gamble.
Yeah.
And
you feel it when you're at the Southpoint.
And guess what? I've had my problems with Michael Gaughan and his group, so it's not like we're paid to say this. It's not like we're getting anything special from them to say this. It's just that they are that good.
Yeah. And, coming from L.A., I would always, when I see that golden Southpoint, I would always say, let me just stop here for a minute and stretch my legs before I check into the Strip.
It's bright and shiny and cool, and it got great food there. Yeah. And, so we'll do more about the Southpoint as we go forward.
All right, well, moving on to the newest casino in Henderson, the Pass. The Pass is open. We went there yesterday and had a blast at the Pass.
Yeah, formerly the El Dorado, which was a Boyd Group casino. Now it's sold to the group that owns Railroad Pass, and they named this one the Pass. It's a small casino. It's got 2 restaurants. It's got a few table games. It's got a couple of bars. But it's new, it's cool, and it's down on Water Street. And Henderson Water Street is something that's coming back big time. They've got some breweries down there. They've got a new place called Sticks Tavern, run by a friend of mine. We had a couple drinks in a place called the Gold Mine, which is one of the bars down there. Apparently, it's like a country western bar. Apparently, it really rocks on the weekends. So, we'll be hitting Water Street, but the Pass is open.
Henderson Water Street reminds me of just like really cool parts of LA, like kind of like Larchmont Street, or like, there's just a lot of cool stuff on Water Street that I was unaware of coming to Vegas. So I was really surprised at how cool downtown Henderson is. So
to me, it reminds me of Reno.
Yeah.
And I really like Reno. I mean, I love Vegas, and downtown Vegas is a lot like Reno too. But downtown Henderson is even more like Reno. You feel like you're up north, except for it's about 30 degrees hotter than it is in Reno. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's the desert heat, the desert life. But I agree. I think that it was very much like a fun Reno vibe with a few cool casinos and some really cool restaurants. And there were even people walking around yesterday on the street. It was a real hip vibe.
Friendly people.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally, we said we'd come back to Southpoint, and we're going to make a quick mention of the latest Megabucks hit. It wasn't yesterday, it was back in April, but we haven't had an opportunity to talk about it, but it was hit for $10.5 million at Southpoint.
Well, there you go. Another reason to go to the Southpoint. $10.5 million will change your life. So
yeah, and you get a buffet while you're there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to try to do these things. We're going to try to stick to a schedule. We're going to try to do it once a week. We'll do it as close to that schedule as we possibly can. Those of you who watch this, if you have specific things you want us to cover or questions you want to ask, just ask them in the comments box underneath the video. We'll answer them there, or we'll insert it into next week's talk.
Terrific. And remember, you can't win if you don't play, and we'll see you next week.